Yes, I have a damn Canadian story
Damn it.
Damn
about
Canadians.
damn Quebec. Yeah, okay. So this comes from Philip Barclay, who shared this with me, and he's Canadian, and so he thought that I would find this interesting, and I really do. And so Quebec has a lot of hydroelectric dams, and one thing I did not know, because I've never been to Quebec and I don't study dams, is unlike many of the dams that we think of where you have constantly flowing water, like when you dam a river or a hydroelectric plant that could be on a river that requires constant moving. And Mark, you correct me if I get this incorrect, if I'm wrong, but I got the understanding from this article here that was in cbc.ca that some of the dams in Quebec can hold the water as long as necessary. They don't have to let the water
Yeah,
go.
basically reservoirs.
Yeah, so they're just huge reservoirs of
Could
water.
call them a battery.
Now, yeah, right. So that's where this comes in. So Quebec does not plan on building any more dams for hydroelectric power, especially because dam building has become much more expensive at this point than just buying wind turbines and putting in solar. But as we all know, and as was pointed out, one of the officials in this CBC article said, people never tire of telling him that the sun doesn't shine at night. Yes, it does. It's just on another part of the world. You need to study your astronomy. But anyway, I don't know what you're teaching them there in Canada, Mark, but the sun doesn't go out, just to be clear.
It goes out and come back.
So the thing is, there's battery storage and other forms of energy storage, but of course, Quebec has these huge reservoirs that when renewable energy is running low, they can release some water, turn some turbines, and generate electricity that way. And then, as we know, of course, that when there's extra energy in the grid, we can pump the water. So they literally could put the water back into the reservoir for later if necessary. So in that regards, these hydroelectric dams in Quebec are becoming essentially batteries. And it's just another way of looking at some of the existing infrastructure and using it differently as we transition towards a greener infrastructure. Hey, real quick, if you want to stay up to speed on the latest news, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Like I said, reusing something that already exists instead of just throwing it away, looking at how it can be used moving forward.
Well, and they have thousands and thousands of cubic acres of water that they can just open the valve when they need energy and let it flow into the generators. So
Yeah, that's what we have here in the Northwest. We have Bonneville Power. They have several dams, and then we have wind in the Columbia Gorge. And so they're able to use the hydro to adjust for how much wind is being generated. And there are times at night, especially when they're making too much wind and they have to throw away the surplus wind power. But instead, if they had some method where they could, pump water back up and backfill the dams, that would be even better.
Yeah, so basically having two reservoirs, one higher, one lower, allows them to run the generator when they need to, and then that water's collected in the lower reservoir. And then at night or during the day, when they have a surplus of energy, they just turn on the pumps and they pump from the lower, push it back into the upper reservoir, and you've got this cycle constantly. And of course, that allows you to have that battery.
Hey, Mark, I heard something on the Tesla podcast, not the Tesla Life, but this is one about the inventor Nikola Tesla, and they said that in Canada, especially Ontario and that area, that the electricity bill isn't referred to by most people. They call it their hydro bill for hydroelectric, and they just shorten it to hydro.
Yep, that's exactly what
the
I
power
thought it
company is the
always
hydro
was.
company. Yeah.
Being based in Ontario myself, I always thought the electric bill was called your hydro bill. That's what it's referred to here in the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area.
Right. Even though nowadays only about a third of the electricity is generated that way, it's still just what people have traditionally
what it
called
used
it.
to be. In
Right.
fact, where I live in Waterloo Region, we were one of the first cities to receive electricity from Niagara Falls, which of course is hydroelectric. And that
Right.
is exactly what it was named at that point, and that's exactly what we've been calling our bills from that point forward.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humans
And,
are resistant to change.
I grew up in British Columbia, and it's still called BC Hydro. And you say, got my hydro bill to pay.
Oh, that's in
Wow.
BC. So yeah, I assumed it was just like the eastern part of Canada, but I
No,
guess
well,
it's
BC's actually got buckets of dams in the province, like the Northwest U.S. So I would say probably, and I don't know this for a fact, but just from what I know, how many dams there are in BC, probably 80-90% of electric is actually hydro powered in that province.
Wow.
I'm gonna start calling mine my wind turbine bill.
There you go.
Solar bill, baby.
Turbine bill, yeah.
And speaking of Niagara Falls, Mark, if anybody goes to Niagara Falls, there is a statue on the Canadian side of Nikola Tesla from when he first lit up the power plant in Niagara Falls.